Hello and welcome. We are McGraw-Hill Education, and this is a video for parents. Parents that want to keep their students engaged with science while they're at home. Many of us are home, we're dealing with this pandemic, but we still want students to stay engaged with academic work. And so this is a video for parents to show you where student resources are found on their platform for Inspire Science, okay? So your students will have a way of getting to a site that looks like this, where their book is found. So make sure you ask them, how did they find their book? Some of them go through a district site, others have a username and password. So they all know how to find this site or find their book. Just make sure you ask them how they do it. So once you're here, you can click on the title, Inspire Science Grade 4, or the book cover. Either way, it's going to take you to the same location. Now, when I get here, there's a lot going on, but there's really only one location that you really need to be aware of, and it's the menu button up here in the upper left-hand corner. It is the main navigational tool. Now, there's a little video here, nice little cute video that will highlight a STEM career. Each one, wherever you go, it'll start with a little video here. But I have a menu button that will take me to my resources. So click Menu, then Resources. Now, when I go to Resources, I have two drop-down menus right here. Now, the first one are to the modules that the students are going to learn in this school year. The second drop-down menu are the lessons within that module. If you want to think of modules as chapters, feel free to think of them as chapters. We call them modules with Inspire Science. So module, structures and functions of living things, and then looks like I have a module overview, 4 lessons, and a module wrap-up within structures of living things. So I'm going to stay here in the module Structures and Functions of Living Things. And let me navigate and show you what's found at these locations. I'm in the Overview section, and here I have leveled readers. Now notice they have the same title, Animal Senses, Animal Senses, Animal Senses. Same here, The Way Eyes See. So same titles, but they're leveled, so they're different reading levels. And it's important for you to know what this color-coded means. Notice it has a little color on the spine. So students really don't know what level they're at, but a teacher has some discretion as to which leveled reader is most appropriate for them. So just so you know, orange is approaching level. So if your student's maybe a little bit below grade level, you might want to try the orange leveled reader. Blue is on level. So if your student is reading on grade level, choose the blue. If they're a little bit beyond level, maybe a little bit ahead of their class, maybe try the green. And if they're an English language learner, try the purple. So 4 levels: approaching, orange; on level; beyond level in green; and then the purple is for English language learners. So I'm going to go in this blue one, and let's take a look around, see what the level readers is all about. So I'm in a leveled reader, and the leveled reader is a nice little book. It comes with some audio here, so I could have this read to me if I want to as a student. And I have a way over here in the upper left-hand corner of navigating. I could go to chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 in this leveled reader. So I've got different locations that I can go to. If I need to enlarge the screen, I can just click this little zoom button and it'll bring it a little bit closer, or I could zero in on specific areas if I want to do that. So this is the way of navigating this leveled reader. It's a really cool book. It comes in fiction and nonfiction, and students can learn about the different topics within this module. Every module will have these leveled readers, okay? So I have 2 titles of leveled readers and then 4 levels with each one of these leveled readers, okay? Now, at the beginning here, if I click on this print activity, it sets up the module. So it says, look at the eye of the cuttlefish. Why do you think the cuttlefish has pupils that are shaped like a W? What questions do you have about this picture? So it has them introduced to a phenomenon. We call it a phenomenon. That's an NGSS term. It's a picture, it's a video, something that sparks curiosity and gets them to ask questions, okay? And I'll show you where that cuttlefish picture is here in just a moment. And then we have the key vocabulary in this module. And then down here, a STEM career connection. So it starts out with this phenomena. Look at the picture and what questions do you have? We have the module vocabulary, and then we have a STEM career connection. It's a connection to the topics in this module. So where's that picture of the cuttlefish that students are going to analyze? It's right here. So next to wherever this sort of activity is, it's asking for students to look at an image or a video. That image or video will always be close by. Boy, that's a strange looking eye there. It is shaped quite like a W. I wonder why it's shaped that way. So this will spark curiosity on why animals have structures that have different form and functions. Okay. So leveled readers in this module overview, as well as a module introductory activity. Now let's go into a lesson. I'm going to go into, how about lesson 2, structures and functions of animals. Now here, I have some activities within this lesson. Okay? It looks like I've got some images here. Chances are these activities will refer to these images. And so you know where they are. Here they are right within the lesson. So if it says, hey, look at the bear on the tree, you know there's going to be a video of the bear or a image of a bear on a tree close by. And every one of our lessons begins with what we call a Page-Keeley probe activity. Page-Keeley probe. It's basically a way for teachers to check for students' misconceptions, get students curious and thinking about what they know already. And so typically they have choices to make, and then they have to explain their thinking. And this is just a good way to see what students are thinking going into the lesson. Okay, take a look at these Page-Keeley probes. They're pretty cool. And every lesson will begin with one. Okay, you might want to try doing that with your student at home. Maybe both of you participate. From there, we launch into the lesson. And we've got another activity. So each one of these are different activities that supports this lesson. Look at the photos of different animal body structures. So we took a look at where those photos are. You know where they are by now. And then we have some activities that follow. Within each and every lesson, you'll also see labs. Now, some of the labs will have resources that you're probably not going to have at home, but some of the labs might have resources that you do have at home. Now, this one, you probably have most of this stuff, maybe not a live snail, but maybe you know where you can find one. So take a look and try to find maybe some activities that you're able to do at home. Or maybe you could substitute a live snail for something else. Okay. So here's a lab, and you could print that out and do that at home with your students. So each and every lesson will have a Page-Keeley probe. Each and every lesson will have little labs and activities. And then every lesson ends with a performance task. It's an opportunity for students to demonstrate their mastery of some kind of content. So if I go down here to this, here I have a performance task. So here I need a rubber glove and some available classroom activities. And so this is a way for students to demonstrate what they've learned in that lesson, okay? Through some sort of an activity, through some sort of a discussion, creating a model, make an explanation. So if you want to check for understanding, go to the performance task, and every lesson will end with one. So every lesson begins with this Page-Keeley probe, a way to check for what students know. Every lesson ends with a performance task, an end assessment, or an opportunity to check for students know after the lesson. So check for understanding before the lesson, check for understanding after the lesson, and then in between we have these activities. Okay. So every lesson will have that sort of structure. Now, also within this lesson, you're going to see this Science and Engineering Handbook. So you might be asking, well, where's the book? I always remember having a science book in my classroom. Well, the Science and Engineering Handbook is that book for your students. And it's organized into earth science, life science, physical science. We happen to be in life science right now. So let me go to types of living things. And here's where they're going to find that content on living things. So think of the handbook as a companion piece. You have the activities where students are doing things in science. They're exploring, they're creating, they're making models, they're doing experiments. And then if they need a little bit of content on plants or animals or anything related to those activities, they go to the handbook. And just like the leveled reader, I can enlarge this and zoom in on specific areas if that's what I want to do. So this handbook is available in each and every lesson. You'll also see the handbook in a centralized location. So let me show you where that is. That handbook can be found in Program Resources. So if I go to Program Resources, there's my handbook here in one location. You always know where it's at. And then you'll also see it at the end of each and every lesson. Okay. Now, I showed the module overview. We went into a lesson. Let's see what's at the module wrap-up at the end of the lesson. So every lesson ends with the performance task. Every module ends with the performance project. It's how much have you learned from lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4, the whole module. Let's put it all together and see what you've learned by you demonstrating your mastery of the content. So that's what the performance project is all about. So here students are going to probably design something. They're going to create a solution to a real-world problem. And the performance project puts it all together. Okay, it's the culminating activity for that module. So modules, right here, broken down into module overview, lessons, module wrap-up. When we get into a lesson, every lesson begins with a pre-diagnostic assessment. We call it a formative assessment probe. What do you know going into the lesson? And then it ends with the performance task. What do you know going out of the lesson? If there are references to images or videos, those images or videos are found right here. And then don't forget that content piece. The traditional book, if you want to think of it that way, is found here in the handbook. Now, all along the way, there will be little interactives that students can use if they want to. I can flip through the pages of this one. They have audio. So look for those as well. These are great tools to help your students while they're at home. Now, another way to find resources that I want you to make you aware of is this keyword search. If you go to keyword search, now here shows the resources, all of the resources found in the book. So look, you've got 70 leveled readers titles. Man, oh man, that is a lot of great at-home instruction here. They're student friendly. Just to refresh your memory on these leveled readers, they're very student friendly. They're colorful. They have fiction and nonfiction in them. There's an activity at the end of these. These are great tools for at-home instruction. And remember, they can be read to students. So they just don't have to read it. They can actually listen to it, which is awfully nice. So here I have 70 of those leveled readers. I've got simulations. I've got videos. So if you want to find your resources in one location, go to this keyword search. And you're going to see all of the resources available into the entire program for that grade level. And if I go to, let's say, interactives, and let's say I want to navigate back to all of my resources, I can just click on all resources, and now all of those resources will come back up. Now, this has been a short introduction into Inspire Science for parents. Now, the first thing, remember, is to ask students, how do they get to that page? How do they get there? Is it a username and password? Is it through a district site? And once in that site, our site, go to this menu button and go to resources to find all the resources available to you. If you have any other questions about Inspire Science or any other questions at all that might help you at home during this time, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're McGraw-Hill Education. You have a local representative. Ask them for what you need and let us try to help you in this time until your students get back to school and then hopefully beyond then as well. Take care and good luck.